Hey, neurodivergent woman, guess what? You can move abroad and you can create a better life for yourself and for your family. And you know what? This is for us. This is for the people who are bridge builders, who are pathfinders, who want to create a better option. And today is day 72 of 100 of my 100-day challenge. Yay. And yesterday was about surviving the liminal space. Today is about why we do this, why I do this, why I'm doing this, right? And I have notes, so I'm going to periodically look down because I wrote, there's a lot and I don't want to miss anything. And also, it's a lot of notes. And I also want to say that, so get some tea. And I may cut this video short because I don't have much energy today, but I do want to get this daily video out to you today so that somebody can find it when they need it. All right, so you know, we are not just doing this for us. We're creating a pathway, a pathway for our family members that are diagnosed and for those who aren't diagnosed. So we can build like a humane treatment, a, a better treatment for us, a better way to be, and so that we can get affordable systems in place for us. And I'm here to say, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. I did it in Mexico, and I'm looking forward to doing this in Southeast Asia. And then not only for myself, but also to do this for my community. Like have a place that is big enough to host other neurodivergent women who need space or need a break or need help. So, why this matters to neurodivergent women specifically. So, we carry families, and neurodivergent women often, even when we have executive functioning challenges, we wind up being the organizer and the planner, and also the researchers. Hello, special interest, right? And that our special interest is, towards helping our families. So this is what we're going to do. We're the advocates, both often for ourselves and then, for our families. And also, we usually the ones who figure it out first, right? Even if you figured it out for your kids and then look back at yourself and be like, oh no, and me too. And I also need support now. Like it was for me. Maybe that's for you, but now no. It's like we can go out and find the places that are better places for us to be. So, why we know the struggle? Like, we're living in systems that are not built for us. We lack affordable support in the US. And let's be real honest, there's inhumane treatment of neurodivergent people. Our family members are also struggling. Uh, yeah, are diagnosed, and even if you're the undiagnosed or you strongly think that you are, um, we know that you need help. Like, and even our friends, right? We are willing to be, and I want you to feel comfortable being and know that you have support in being maybe the first to go abroad that's neurodivergent in your family, and uh, you'll have support. And we also know that, let's be real, the healthcare costs in the US are bankrupting not only individuals, but families. And that's just not the way, our sense of justice is not fair. It's not the way it's supposed to be. And, there's often no accommodations. We just get try harder. But I know, and I want you to know, and maybe you already have an inkling that we can create something better. We can, like, we can move abroad. As neurodivergent women, we can, despite what you might think, and I know you're thinking, but I have ADHD, and, how will I plan this? Mahakasapa, one step at a time. When I'm autistic and change is hard. It's hard, but it's not impossible. Literally, I am possible. You are possible. It's possible. But I have executive dysfunction. We have tools. I can suggest tools for you for that if that's your worry. But I'm chronically ill too. Listen, this is the main reason why you need to go. But I have kids. Kids can move too. Matter of fact, they will be better off for it when you do move. But I'm scared. Fear and courage can also coexist. You know, it's dualities, challenging duality, but it's there. I'm here to say you are capable of this, right? Your hyperfocus will help you research. Your pattern recognition will help you find the best options. Your advocacy skills will help you navigate, and your determination will help get you through. You care for your family, and that motivates you. Okay? You have survived, seriously, the biggest thing, you have survived harder things. Really. You can do hard things. You have done hard things before, and you can do this. You can do the hard thing again. And so I'm going to say that you will have a better physical space for yourself. And what moving abroad can give you is a lower cost of living. It will give you less financial stress. And less financial stress equals what? Less dysregulation. Yes. And you'll be able to afford necessities without the constant panic. Oh my gosh, it's going to cost so much. No, it'll be affordable and you can do it. And you'll have spaciousness to breathe financially, which is huge. And, geo arbitrage works for us too. Geo arbitrage means, if you're not familiar, means moving to a better place, moving to a less expensive place so that you take the strength of the US dollar and you put it towards someplace else that where the living cost and totality living cost, healthcare cost, everything else is less expensive. And I'll say that your medications under affordable healthcare, I mean, you can have therapy without going bankrupt. Your medications are going to be accessible. But again, like check different countries where you want to be and see if they have an equivalent or something similar. Preventative care is going to be possible. I know even though we hate to do it and it's like a whole century tribulation, we can go to that less expensive and a less expensive place. And mental health care support is affordable and humane. Like, we're not, again, this goes back to they'll be more able to see you, as a brown person and not just, they'll know like the entire diagnostics and that will be helpful for you so that you'll be seen and not just, be misdiagnosed as like bipolar or something like that. You'll, you'll be seen with, all your stems and the things that you need to just get by on a day. And, if you're chronically ill, your chronic illness management, again, sustainable. And a big, huge thing that I found is the different pace of life, which is there is not the constant hustle of the US. There is permission to rest in some cultures, like in many cultures. Less productivity, pressure. You're more accepting of differences. And the slower pace equals what? Less overwhelm, less, um, and when the overwhelm leads to like overstimulation, so it's like less overwhelm and less stimulation, right? And you have more sensory options, right? You can choose quieter areas to live. You can choose to work in like remotely. You can choose less crowded spaces. And you can choose a climate that works best for your body. You can choose sensory friendly housing. And accommodations are possible. You can work from home. That will give you a flexible schedule. You can make a quieter living space, and in making the space even, that means that, if you do that in a less expensive place, making of your space is then less expensive. and you can design a life for your brain, how your brain works best. And community, let's talk about that. Community possibilities. Yay. Find other neurodivergent people. On my page and in my space is a good one. We're neurodivergent people and women abroad. Okay. We will find that there's less judgment around here. You'll have a fresh start to unmask. Get to see who you are when you have a chance to stop using so much brain power to try to look like a neurotypical or act like a neurotypical, which again, less overwhelm, which will be good. And you can create space for your family. Like I said, it's move when that might not be just for you, right? And the ripple effect is like you'll be able to establish yourself. And once you establish yourself, you create a pathway for your family members. And this part is really what I wanted to focus on, like really, really say today. Also, oh my gosh, hi, and see if you are new here. This is me. I talk about movie pod stuff as I am. I talk about neurodivergent things. I talk about joy. Um, and between whimsy things, I talk about whimsy and fun. But today, we're talking about getting to a better space so that I can have room to blossom as a person, to unmask, um, and being the first one abroad and being that pathway for your family. You'll learn the systems first, which is good. Help maybe your other friends and family who are slightly higher needs, neurodivergent than you are. So it's good. And you'll figure out what works first. And you'll be building the network, and you'll be the one you become the bridge, essentially. And, who this helps. And I kind of alluded to that already and really just said, but your diagnosed and undiagnosed siblings, your parents, your children, I mean, your nieces, your nephews, if they're parents, if they'll let them come to a space that, maybe has more resources and not maybe has more resources, but will have more resources and resources they can afford. And then you're really, 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 truly helping out not just yourself, but also the next generation of neurodivergent kids and your family. I mean, what's better there? And also, let's be real, a lot of your family might not be able to afford like US healthcare, like a lot of us can't. And also, um, how you help them really, also, in addition to that, by being first, like you've done the research, which for your ADHD family members is huge, right? There's a huge stress out of their being and off their plate. You could help them find housing that they can afford. You can locate the doctors and therapists and help them with the language and teach. And you help them like navigate different cultural aspects and practical support. Really, seriously. It's like, here's how you get the visa. This is a neighborhood that's quiet and affordable. And this doctor speaks English and understands autism or ADHD. And, you can tell them, all the things that you wish you knew like going in, right? So, like it. And to talk about the main treatment aspect of things is that, in many countries outside of the US, healthcare, it like sees you as an actual human, not just um, like a dollar, like having to do with, does your insurance going to cover this so they can make the maximum dollars and everything else like this? It's like, no, abroad, you get seen as a human, like the doctor will listen to you, listen to your symptoms, You have affordable access, which is huge, not $200 copays or, you know, what emergency room, or not even emergency, but like an emergency, or have to be helicoptered out or something like that that could medically bankrupt you. It's not going to happen. You'll have your travel insurance, and then also out of pocket healthcare things are doable, affordable. Another thing is chronic illnesses are supported better elsewhere, and disability accommodations are more available, more accessible, more easily accessible, which is great. And there's, some countries even do have better special education than the United States, right? And there are different teaching approaches outside of the United States, again, which is more humane to what the United States is even doing to regular children, but more importantly to us, to our neurodivergent children. So, in terms of social support systems, countries do have disability support. And I think the biggest thing that for me was that there's community care, which is really good because that means care in common, and you have more people that are going to look after you, as opposed to the US rugged individualism. And of course, because it's not going to be in the US, there is no ridiculous pull yourself up by your bootstraps. No, there's community to help build you up and bolster you. Okay, so what else is there? Oh, yes. So, quality of life things, which I know you're here for. Thank you for sticking around. Like I said, plenty of ideas for why you can do this and why you should as a neurodivergent woman and go abroad. Definitely because of the quality of life, the healthcare, the housing. Did I mention? I forgot to mention food. Food is way more affordable when all of that equals what? Breathing room. Breathing room. There's time for actual life to be lived, and you're not just surviving, which is huge. And along with that is the ability to rest and recover, which is huge. And accommodations are not going to be, they're just not going to eat up like the entirety of your budget so that you're feeling like you can barely scrape by. As I said, this with the affordability, you'll have room in your budget. Now, and I also wanted to say that no is perfect, of course, and ableism exists everywhere, but there are places that are much more livable than the United States. And better doesn't mean perfect. Just wanted to also say that. But improved quality of life matters quite a lot. Like, we're human, I'm only here for a short period of time, really, so it's up to us to make the best decisions that we can that lead to an improved quality of life. And I feel like for us, neurodivergent folks, we can do better in other countries. And I want to support you in doing that and having someone to talk to here, and we'll cover that in this space. Other things, I do want to touch a little bit on cost of things in case, kind of to put your mind at ease. So, in terms of like mental health care support, like therapy and things like that, it's like $20 to $50 per session, as opposed to like when you pay, if you have to pay out of pocket, $150 to $300 per hour. Like psychiatry, again, it's like affordable medication management. Like specifically, I'm thinking about Bangkok, and different kinds of medication that have safer or less side effects. There are support groups that are often free or low cost. There is crisis care, again, accessibility without bankruptcy. Um, Medical care, like doctor visits, are going to be $20 to $50. And whereas in the United States, That could be 150 to 500 and up, right? It'd be just too much in the US. So, and medications, as I said before, fraction of the cost of the United States, which is a wonderful thing. And as I said before, the chronic illness management becomes sustainable and much less of a worry. Uh, yeah. And the other thing I wanted to say about educational support was for assessments and diagnosis. It's not going to be, $5,000 plus whatever ridiculous separate charge for specific tests. So on that note, I will say that like for the place in Bangkok that I'm going to be going to, it's $1,500 for the day's diagnosis. That does not include medication, but as I said, the medication is not going to be, out of pocket, super expensive, which is again helpful for the bottom line, helpful for the budget. And let's see, I'm not gonna not so as not to be super repetitive. I think I'm gonna cut out some. I'm not gonna say some of the stuff, but I do want to say that should you choose to do this, thank you for doing this for yourself and bigly, muchly for your family. And good on us for creating spaces that become havens for neurodivergent folks to get settled, to be settled, to get in community. And I find that's a really wonderful thing that I am looking forward to building up in Southeast Asia. And I hope that, you feel comfortable like going up and going abroad because of the things that I covered that will be affordable and helpful and allow you space to breathe. And again, I talked about this in the video yesterday, but I am out of energy once again. So I will bid you adieu and say please watch a video here that will have something to do with a topic that you're interested in. And up here, if you're feeling productive, you have a lot of energy, a lot of spoons, you can turn on a playlist for co-working. And I'll give you a timer and you can do what you have been procrastinating about and get that done. And you'll have me going, okay, time. And I'll have little things I'll say in between the breaks. And here is a subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Again, my name is C. And yeah, I'll be going to Southeast Asia very soon. And I hope you have a wonderful, amazing day. Okay, aloha.